and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the line. I'll take it to the edge where I live 1,000 lives. And maybe I could be the one right into the setting sun tonight.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Brett Keenan here from TKA Broadcasting, bringing you the Chinese Grand Prix. Now, as you can see, we have gotten ourselves into Q3, surprisingly, and we're about to get underway. I'll explain the qualifying just after we get settled into the race. So, it's lights out, away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. So, as I said, we started from P7. It was a wet field qualifying session, and we managed to claw our way into the top 10 for qualifying and put our car 7th in an incredible state of play. So we just had contact there with Max Verstappen heading into turn 1 and turn 2, and then gave Bottas a little bit of a hit up the arse to show him that we're there. I mean, normally we wouldn't be fighting these guys, so these guys are probably sitting there going, Sauber in the front, that's strange. But either way, here we go, up the inside of Valtteri Bottas, and just get our wheel into his side pod and then claw our way through with the added traction. So here we are, P5 at the moment. A lot of people are probably sitting there going, oh yeah, very easy difficulty, I'd imagine. But yeah, no, it's 100% difficulty of legends. Yeah, I had a bit of a brain fade at the moment. It's legend AI, it's not 100% AI of legends. That'd be pretty cool though. Anyway, so yeah, coming through to the second sector, we're chasing down Daniel Ricciardo with Valtteri Bottas behind us. Now, you can easily imagine that it's not going to be long before Valtteri Bottas does put a move on us. So coming down the long 300 km an hour, roughly straight, down hard on the brakes, probably missed my breaker a bit, went wide, and Valtteri just shot himself straight up the inside, and with that he was off to challenge the Red Bull. We had Nico Hülkenberg behind us too in the Renault, so Renault doing a good job qualifying 10th, I think. So Lewis Hamilton leading the way from the two Ferraris, Ricciardo, Bottas, and then myself, with Hülkenberg behind. Heading into turn 1 very consistently. Now we skipped to lap 3 because Bottas cleared us, and then, oh look, there's an Australian off to the side of the road. Very strange. Anyway, so here's the replay. So Bottas fancied to move up the inside. No space was given by Ricciardo, and Bottas decided, well, you're not going to give me space, I'll make my own space. So there goes Ricciardo, and there goes me going wide, and then Nico fancied a shot. Now, by this point, the rain had come back, so it was time to go into the pits. The one thing about China that really stands out is that how quickly it goes from dry to wet when it starts to rain. So, you know that it's wet conditions when the car just, pretty much as soon as the water starts appearing on the windshield or your T-cam, then you kind of know that it's almost, well, close to pretty much being the crossover point. Because here, for some reason, the Chinese Grand Prix circuit really gets wet really quickly. So, the wet to dry transition is probably a little trickier to understand. But, yeah, you definitely know when it's the wet to dry, dry to wet conversion rate. So, here we are, lap 5 on the intermediate tyres, chasing down the Ferraris of Raikkonen and Vettel. Of course, everyone else hasn't pit yet, but you can kind of see, you'll see in a minute, as you can see here, the difference in the tyres is amazing, because Van Dorn was half a lap ahead of me when I came in, after I'd come in to do my stop, and I've pretty much clawed that half lap back in the next half of the lap as they come in. Now, Van Dorn kind of gave me a bit of a spook because he was going so slow towards the pit lane, I wasn't sure what was happening, so I had to try and take avoiding action a little bit and went wide as a result. But either way, we've jumped Valtteri Bottas in the pit stop, so you can see the difference between the wet and the dry. But now, going to lap 11, you can see we're just having a bit of a struggle around on the wet. Bottas has taken advantage of it, and a yellow flag suddenly popped up because it's none other than Sebastian Vettel with a right rear tyre blowout. Sorry, a left rear tyre blowout. When you look at it from a certain perspective, it looks like a right rear. So here's a shot of Sebastian with his right rear, left. For fuck's sake, guys. yeah, is right, left rear, left rear, left. I'm gonna have to put that in big bold letters on the screen again. Left rear tyre blowout. So either way, Bottas now using the. I kind of had to take avoiding action in a little way to get around, but Bottas now fires up the inside. We go wide as a result. Now Bottas clears me, but doesn't get quite the traction he wants out of the corner. And as a result, we get the traction from pretty much having to go straight lining the corner to get out of it. And we fire ourselves back up the inside and take the position back. So at this point, there's a Sauber fighting for P3. That is scary. But yeah, I can tell you this much: it doesn't last. So you don't go thinking of rig the game to have it on a easier difficulty to give myself the advantage. Now see here, I thought this is what I was explaining before. The conversion from the dry tyre to the wet tyre is pretty simple, but the conversion from the wet tyre to the dry tyre is very tricky. So you can see that there's still water spray, but that's because it's the pit lane, so it doesn't get as much cars going through it, so all the water kind of just stays there until it dries up by the sun. So we come in, get on the medium tyres, thinking that there wasn't going to be any more rain, and generally the medium tyre can last up to 40 laps, so we would end up going 3 laps longer in the stint with the medium tyre, but because the car is underperforming and whatnot, I figured that the tyre degradation would be good enough that we could do it and still have pace. But you can see that it was a lap too early. The car is struggling to get up to speed. It's sliding all over the place, so it was very tricky to try and determine when it was a good time to come into pit for the dry tyres. But I can say by about lap 14 it did improve, but as you can see, the damage is done. Bottas has easily jumped us over with the overcut as a result of me just not having a good outlap on the tyres when I came in. So Bottas clears us, and then we've got the Hulk to worry about when he comes up towards us. But either way, I think we're now going to skip to so we're going to skip now to lap 27. So the rain came back again. Now I was kind of hoping the rain would stay out a bit longer, because there's a bug in the AI that when they hit their tyre limit, when they reach their pit window, they come in and pit, and generally if it's not to the crossover point, they come and pit for another set of dry tyres, which would have fell right into my hands at this moment of time. But because the rain came a few laps earlier than expected, unfortunately we couldn't capitalise on being on the mediums. So it was kind of a waste of stop to be in the mediums, to be honest, but I suppose it meant that we did have fresher tyres at our disposal for when the end of the race came. But from here it was pretty relatively boring. It was just didn't have much to do in the field racing. Hulkenberg did clear us in the end, but either way, we come in now from position 5 and into the pits again to get on some dry tyres once more. And now I can tell you that this is the actual last stop that we have in this race. Sorry, I got a bit of a dry throat. I had done this recording before, only realised I wasn't using my microphone, so it was recording nothing. So this is take 2 of the recording for the Chinese Grand Prix, so yeah, my throat is a bit sore at the moment. So either way, we're in here on the soft tyres, and you can see Raikkonen's still staying out on the intermediates, and this is probably the highlight of my race. I mean, I said that the highlight of my Australian Grand Prix was getting past Lewis Hamilton on to unlap myself, and I kind of forced him off the road doing that. But this one was a bit more magical. So as you can see, Raikkonen is struggling on the intermediates. We go up the inside on the softs, get a bit loose on the wet patch of the track, but still manage to clear Raikkonen and begin to pull away. Now you kind of seen that. Now you look at the placing of where we are. Now you can see that the AI is definitely not on very easy, because Raikkonen is on the verge of lapping me and I'm in position 5. So I'll give you a bit of a spoiler. The field only had 3 cars finishing on the lead lap. So now, as you can see here, we've got Daniel Ricciardo behind us. Hulkenberg still miles up the road, and there's Lewis Hamilton trying to lap us. Now, I try to do what I did to him in Australia and try and let him through by holding up the rest of the field. But watch this. Watch your right, left. Sergio Perez, the cheeky little bugger, decided to follow Hamilton through and catch both me and Ricciardo off guard. So we both lose the position to Sergio Perez. And then Ricciardo lost a spot to Sebastian Vettel, who completely caught me off guard here with a fiery move up the inside. I actually initially thought it was Raikkonen again, so I let him through. And then when I saw it was Vettel, I was gobsmacked that he'd actually thrown his car up the inside at me, which AI don't really do. AI generally just pull out of the slipstream and then pass you there. If you happen to be on the corner still, then they keep committed to the inside. But that was the first time I'd actually seen an AI literally throw their car up the inside of me to make a pass. But as you can see, Ricciardo's done pretty much what I said. Pulled out of the slipstream, made a move, and then got the job done. And now Romain Grosjean fancies his shot against me for P8. And then unfortunately, because, you know, Sauber 2016 engine against Haas 2017 Ferrari engine. And then it happens. But then Romain does exactly what Sebastian does. Caught me off again. Threw the car at the inside. We try to force the issue. Go around the outside. But then he just keeps his car stationed on the inside. There's a lot of biff and barge, and he gets the job done. Unbelievable racing here. But we're in the points still, which is an absolutely amazing achievement for Sauber, given that their struggles throughout this season in general, but in seasons to date after the, I suppose after the fall of BMW. But either way, lap 41, P9 at the moment, and I can tell you it pretty much stayed like that. We lost Lance Stroll because I think he lost ground in the end. And then, of course, here comes Kimi Raikkonen. So, as a mark of respect for him letting us through to unlap ourselves, we just pull off to the side of the road and let him get past us. So, he's trying to fight for the win, given that Sebastian Vettel had his tyre woes and dropped down to the end of the field at one point. So great recovery from Sebastian too. But either way, last lap for us since we're a lap down. Kevin Magnussen really tried his hardest to get both Haases in the points. Well, he was in the points anyway, but to get in more points. But either way, it's P9 for us here at the Chinese Grand Prix. What a race.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today. So then, it's time to see how this
So there you have it, my boys. P9 for the Sauber. We have got points on the board for the Sauber Formula 1 team. Hamilton manages to win the Grand Prix from Raikkonen, Bottas. Vettel recovers from his bad run to finish 4th. And Hulkenberg, Ricciardo, Grosjean, Perez and Kevin Magnussen make up the top 10. Can we get some more points over the course of the season? Well, I think Bahrain's going to be a bit of a different track for us because of it being a bit more straight orientated, so we will struggle. But either way, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the TK Broadcasting channel, like and subscribe to the videos. Actually, you can't subscribe to the videos, what am I thinking? Anyway, we'll see you at Bahrain. Take it easy, chaps.